Welcome. This is your official welcome to the 2017 NAED LEAD Conference. And in true industry fashion, a little bit of elevator problems and a few raindrops outside did not stop 150 people from getting to the bar. My name is Chris Mitchell. I'm with Mayer Electric Supply, and I have the honor of serving as this year's LEAD Conference Chair. Real quick, I want to thank you guys. We have record attendance for this year's conference, over 150 people here in attendance. And as I look out into the room, it's a great combination of old faces I've seen at previous conferences and a bunch of new faces too. You know, with that being said, we have over 60 first-time attendees to the NAED LEAD Conference. So on behalf of myself and the 17-person LEAD committee, I want to thank you, thank your managers, and your business leaders for sending you. Real quick, you know, we had a little bit of dialogue. As you capture the moments throughout the conference this week, we have a hashtag NAED LEAD. So NAED LEAD, hashtag NAED LEAD. Any pictures you share of your experiences throughout the conference are greatly appreciated to share on your social media sites. Great way to promote the conference and your experience and share your story going forward. I want to give a special thanks to NAED and their staff for supporting this conference and putting all the pre-work and effort into putting this together. This is not an easy feat to put together, and so I appreciate the NAED and their staff for putting this together. I want to thank the Western Region Council for taking times out of their busy schedules to hang over and participate, especially this afternoon. That interaction, you know, with experienced industry veterans, leaders, proven executives, you get that time with them. That's invaluable. So really want to thank the Western Region Council for participating. Also want to, without our sponsors, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you to all of our conference sponsors, and especially I want to thank the 17-person committee that helped me plan this event. So give everybody a round of applause. Real quick introduction on myself. You know, everybody's got their story of how they ended up in this beautiful electrical distribution business, right? You know, mine's has a similar path to some, but obviously takes a turn. You know, I grew up in Chicago, went to school down at the University of South Alabama in Mobile. You know, so went through my original culture shock and got set and went ahead and got my degree in sports marketing. Right, logical for somebody that's going to get into electrical distribution. So as I continued, I got my degree. You know, I called my dad up and I said, you know what, I'm going to be Jerry Maguire. I'm going to law school. Right, that's the movie. Was awesome. I cannot wait. This is going to be great. Show me the money. So I called my dad up and I said, all right, I've applied to law school. I got accepted to Florida State and Alabama. You know, I'm thinking about starting. And he said, who's paying for it? And it's like, ouch. You know, I was fortunate enough to be on scholarship for my undergrad, and that finally hit to me that I didn't have money to pay for this law school. So I got an internship with the General Electric Company, and I called my dad and I said, look, I did this summer intern. They just called me. They offered me a full-time job on their management training program. And he said, well, it sounds like you already made your decision. And I said, no, I haven't. I just wanted to talk it over with you. He said, well, pretty simple math. You got a job making money, or you don't have any money to get a law degree. I said, all right. Here I go. So that's when I started on the management training program with GE. You know, I obviously got assigned to GE Supply at the time and went through their management training program, then went through the black belt, got black belt certified, went through outside sales branch management, and eventually GE sold our division to Rexel, then went into a marketing role with the newly formed Gexpro, and then came to Alabama, back to where I went to school. You know, along the way, I had been in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Connecticut. Got relocated to Alabama because along the way I had married my wife, who's from the South, and Connecticut did not jive too well, so she needed to get back to the Southeast. So that's how we got back to the Southeast with Gexpro, and I was running the state of Alabama for them. Well, at this point, I've got 3 kids, one born in Florida, one born in Connecticut, and the third and final one born in Alabama. It was time to raise a family there. So we jumped off that ship, that corporate ship that moved us every 2 or 3 years, and joined the great family with Mayer Electric. And I've been with them now for 5 years. So, that's kind of just a little bit background of how I got into this industry. I've worked for the big corporate giant, been through an acquisition, now work for a family company, and been a branch manager. The 17 years of my career, I've been a branch manager for 12 of them. So just want to share that experience with you. For those of you in the audience can share and relate. Everybody's got their unique path to where they stand today, and along the way you're going to have decisions to make, whether they be professionally or personally, that influence your career, and ultimately you have to be happy with that, and that leadership is different for everybody. Our goal with this committee is to become the leadership development conference of our industry, all right? And we take our job seriously. We take the feedback from previous conferences. We send out pre-conference surveys, and we travel around throughout the year getting feedback from anybody and everybody that will participate to make sure we plan the most effective conference possible for those in attendance. We've got a great 3 days planned for you. We kicked it off today earlier with our optional networking charity event, the Lead to Feed with the Rocky Mountain Food Bank. About 60 of us boarded a bus and headed over to that Rocky Mountain Food Bank today. What an unbelievable operation we were able to witness and participate in. It's amazing that food bank we visited today provides 119,000 meals a day to the needy throughout the Rocky Mountain region. All right, so. To break it down into specifics of what our group of 60 was able to contribute and help them out accomplish today. When we got there, they divided us into 2 groups. The large majority was focused on what they would refer to as reclamation over there. That team, that group of individuals was able to process 6,625 pounds of food, which equates to 5,575 meals today. On the other side of the industry, or on the other side of the wall, 12 of us had the pleasure of doing what we know best, working in a warehouse with pallet jacks and material, picking from pick sheets, going location to location, shrink wrapping them, getting ready for shipment. The 12 of us prepared 20 total pallets of food, over 20,000 pounds of food, which equates to an additional 17,000 meals. So give you guys yourselves a round of applause for your participation. It's always nice to give back to the local communities. We're hosting these events, and it's always a great way to kick off the conference to break a little ice. I saw on the reclamation side nice assembly lines, teamwork working, a lot of interaction amongst the groups. And then again, on the distribution side, we were broken into groups of 2 and worked well together and got to know each other a little bit more. So great way to kick off the event. Again, this agenda we've got over the next 3 days is filled with really based on the feedback. First and foremost, it's all about networking and exposure to our industry. All right. Again, with over 60 people attending their first LEAD conference, this could be your first exposure to any NAED function, and we want to take advantage of that and provide you the most impact and most benefit. On top of that, we're going to provide you plenty of opportunities for best practice sharing. We've got some motivational speaking. We've got some education, and again, tomorrow night we will highlight and reward the 30 under 35 winners from TED Magazine. As the lead chair, as we prepare to go through the next 2.5 days on the agenda, it's all about, I got 3 key messages, right? And some of them are cliche, but it's important, You get out what you put in, all right? When we're sitting here in this throughout the next 2.5 days, just like we had the opportunity to spend time with 20 minutes with 6 individuals this afternoon from the Western region, if you sit back and don't get engaged, you don't get much out of it. But if you step up, you ask questions, you get involved, you get something out of it, guys. So that's my challenge to you. You get out what you put in. It's no different than anything you do in life, all right? You don't wake up this morning and say, I'm going to be I'm going to win the NBA championship, right? Those guys just don't show up to the court and win. They practice every day, they work at it, right? They build a team, and they go out there and achieve their goals together. So that's no different from what you're going to get out of this conference, all right? The second, and it's a good lesson, and believe me, I try to use it with my kids all the time, is a simple message. Listen to learn, not to respond. In this day and age of fast-paced, everything's instant gratification, sometimes you catch yourself sitting there listening, and you've already stopped listening to that person because you've already formulated your response to the first part of their message, right? And you don't get the full message, all right? Listen to learn, not to respond. Soak it all in. And lastly, on the message side, what are you going to take back with you, guys? As I and other committee members travel around and we meet with executives, with other distributors, we get a common question. Who do I send and why, right? Well, the simple message is it's networking, it's motivation, it's education, right? That's kind of the gist and the simple fact of it. You know, for me, it's an unbelievable, chance for me when I sit down and I tell Nancy or Glenn, it's all about, for me, it's halfway through the year. I had the pleasure of closing the books on a great first half. It's a great way to get away, take a deep breath, get re-energized, and focus on the task at hand for the second half of the year. And what's better is every time I leave here, I take something with me that I implement when I get back to work, all right? Whether it be professionally, and even, and a lot of times, guys, through our motivational speakers and our educational sessions, there's a lot of things I'm able to implement in my personal life that helps that work-life balance and ultimately impacts everybody. So I encourage you, what are you going to take back? Personally, professionally, and put into action. As we go through the next 2.5 days, I look forward to meeting everybody. I want you, when you go back, thank the person who sent you, okay? Share your experience, right? Share your experience throughout the week, hashtag NAED lead, and absolutely thank the person who sent you, because this is what this conference is all about, is the people in this room, all right? Get out. You're going to get out what you put in. Listen to learn, not to respond, and what are you going to take back? Before we get to our dinner, I want to take the time right now to thank and recognize somebody that has brought us to this point, all right? The LEAD conference is, originally was YET and evolved into LEAD. We have grown a lot in the last couple of years, and as I've said, we've got record attendance this year with over 150 people. I want right now to recognize last year's past chair, Jason Seeger. Without his professionalism and his effort and input into building us to where we are today, he set the table for me for this year to take the torch and carry it on. And Chris Provo will do the same next year. So Jason, please come up. Thank you for everything you've done for the LEAD conference. All right. I don't want to stand behind, in front of people that are trying to get their dinner. So we'll wrap this up and move forward. I'll be back up later. We'll go ahead and start the dinner process. The rest of the night we've got dinner, and then we've got 3 great leaders that are going to share their leadership thoughts and experiences with you. We've got 2 individuals, Jessica Richardson, a previous 30 under 35 winner, and Ben Granley, another previous 30 under 35 winner, that are going to share their thoughts and experiences on leadership. And then we'll close the evening with our current NAED chair, Dan Dungan. So right now, enjoy your dinner. Thank you.